that stealing state resources and stand up against this tyranny that is going on. And today will not be the last. We will continue to fight until more and more people will realize that money itself cannot buy you a society that will be functional. People have been impoverished to the point where you give them 5,000. I will not pay money. Everybody enter. That things are going to go well for the APC at the end of the day, definitely. But we have some issues in the ward. Unit 3, Unit 5, and Unit 9 had issues. I think the registers were not uploaded, so we escalated it to INEC. And of course, they accepted that it was a careless mistake on their part. I don't know why units in my ward were not uploaded. I think the problem is being rectified, and they promised that in those particular units they will extend the voting time because a lot of people would have been disenfranchised if that was not rectified. They will be able to escalate it to Abuja. But so far, I mean, in my unit, things are going on very well. And around the state, we also are following. And there is a lot of violence. I mean, the PDP is doing quite a bit there. Trying to molest our voters with security. In fact, in some cases, it is believed by our people that we are running election not against PDP but against security. But we are containing the situation, and I'm sure that at the end of the day we'll come out victorious. Would you mind stating these areas specifically? Yes, in fact, I was told that in Yenagwe especially there has been a lot of violence, a lot of police action. In fact, this morning I woke up with the story of one of my APC members shot. Because there are pictures, so these are not made up stories. And by afternoon, we had situations where the army, especially Bayelsa State, has taken over some areas. In fact, in listening, I've just spoken to them. They say it's the army that is up there with the snatch ballot boxes and so on. I don't know the extent of what is going on. But frankly speaking, the security in Bayelsa State must be called to order. They are really playing on the side of the PDP, unfortunately, especially the army is playing on the side of the PDP. Well, we are expecting that at the end of the day, people will contain them and will come up with this. How would you score INEC today? Well, for INEC has been, I would say that INEC, there's a lot of improvement, I must say. This is not a foolproof system. It's a human system, so you expect that there will be lapses. But I was very shocked that the careless mistake only happened in my ward particularly. And the units that were targeted were very big units. I mean, that had a large number of voters. You would have had over 4,000 voters disenfranchised if this problem was not rectified. And you begin to wonder, how did this now happen only in my ward? But anyway, INEC overall is making a lot of improvements. We believe that there is still room for improvement. Looking at the country's history, due to the fact that Jesus. Yeah. This is, of course, this is my word, so I expect that everybody is supporting me, and that's why you don't need to read this thing. You're entering my shots. My word will be targeted and included, because I'm sure that they believe that if that happened and it disenfranchised people in my ward, that it will be good for them. But we've been able to escalate it to INEC.
Do you still have confidence?
Amid all the security reports that you earlier mentioned, what is your call to party members?
No, of course, I have always called on party members to be peaceful, and they've really conducted themselves very well, and I'm proud of them. So far, so good. Just that the security elements in Yenagoa, especially, because we keep getting all the stories from Yenagoa local government. And everything that is being escalated from Yenagoa to the situation is about security people taking sides with people. That's what I'm saying.
So, do you still have confidence with all these allegations of flaws here and there?
Of course, I am very confident. We are containing the issues. I mean, I'm just bringing this to your attention. It's not as if we have lost hope in the system at all. Definitely, that's far from it. We believe that in the end, we will still carry the day. I mean, because these are all panic measures taken by a failing party. I mean, if they were not failing, they would not be enlisting the support of security to snatch ballot boxes. It is because they are failing. And we believe that in the end,
GbaramatuVoice, voice of the people.
You're welcome and thank you for staying with us. If you just joined us, we are the GbaramatuVoice TV Election Headquarters for the Bayelsa State Governorship Election. My name is Joy London. With me is my very amiable colleague,
Asagi Enaimbo. A lot of issues and a lot of progress and a lot of reactions from Bayelsa State elections, and we've looked at some of the issues that is happening currently in Bayelsa State, where some polling units votes count have the counting of votes have commenced, and a lot of sorting has been done in regard to that, and there is very high hope of who is going to be the next governor of Bayelsa State. And in regard to all this, the different candidates have been given their various opinions of what is happening across the 8 local government areas of Bayelsa during these elections. And one of them, the Labour Party candidate, Engineer Oden Radri. Exchange for vote buying, and it has been a challenge to the people, and that is not just what is stated. We would not like to express some kind of dismay in regard to violence or the aspect of vote buying, and he make a very frank statement: money thrown around that's supposed to be used by the state
for the state's development.
So how do you look at that process? Is a statement accredited to the Labour Party?
According from the Labour Party, yes, leading parties.
So he said money thrown to different places in regard to vote buying and all of it, that's supposed to be used for the state development.
I think when you listen to Engineer Ted, you could see the passion that he has for the people of Bayelsa State. And he said he can never exchange money for votes because he wants to contest so that he can put an end to the decadence in Bayelsa State. Now, talked about the fact that the young men in Bayelsa State are involved in internet fraud, which they popularly call Yahoo now, and the girls are involved in prostitution. So, I think that it makes a point when he says that the youths in the state are suffering and there is just very little inspiration from the government of Bayelsa. I mean, the past governments, in the past 27 years when the state was officially formed, I quite agree with him on that, but saying that the money that is used right now to exchange votes is money that could have been used to nurture the state, that could have been money that was coming from the government, that I cannot talk anything about, because there is no proof yet that it is the government officials that are actually disbursing the funds for this vote buying. But even before Bayelsa State election, other states that had the elections, what we've seen over the years is that it is people from those parties. It's not direct, so it may not be far from the truth. Like in Delta States, in the governorship election in Delta States, that but for in the last election, we had vote buying happen in some other areas in Delta States, and we had the likes of PDP, partisan members. Yes, there are reports and there were videos and pictures that we were able to get where they were trying to negotiate to get people to buy or sell their votes, and we have APC as well. So if he says that it could be because of past experiences of these parties buying votes, and in Nigeria, our politicians are also business owners these days. Some of them are business owners, some of them really do other things apart from politics. But then there is this general criteria that the money that politicians spend or use is from the government. But then we cannot exactly say, even while buying of votes and selling of votes is a very wrong thing and illegal thing to do, we cannot tell them or we cannot know where their money is coming from, whether it was money made for the states.
You know, when you listen to Engineer Odeh's statement, it is a usual way to every candidate to point an accusing finger to every process that is not fair to you. If it's not in your favor, definitely you must react to it. And it's seen making resources that's supposed to be used for the state development is now used for vote buying. It is an allegation until it is proven otherwise, and different reactions has come in, and vote buying has become a political norm during every elections. Those who have saved money for their election purposes instead of bringing in opportunities, infrastructural development, human capital development, these are things that are supposed to be done. But what we normally see in every election period is vote buying. But that is not.
So we want to expand on the topic. Why will somebody, because from previous stories or from previous other states that have experienced this challenge of vote buying, it wasn't the person who was contesting that was buying votes. It was partisan members of his party. So why would people bring out their hard-earned money they could have used for other things, to say, I want to try to get you to buy for my party? I think that their party interest is one of it.
You know,
what do you think is the other motivation for them?
When you look at political parties, the party interest is supreme.
Yes.
And everybody is an embodiment of the party. So when you see your political party winning an election, it means that everybody is a victor. And then
you can benefit too.
Yes,
because that's where you get appointments.
So people have put in strategic people that will go for that particular purpose.
Yeah, I think it also comes as a result of desperation.
Yes, in that regard. I think
that comes from there.
Yes, in that regard, the political actors will key in. You will not expect a candidate, a governorship candidate, to be openly negotiating for.
I don't think the governorship candidate too is the person who is saying, go and try to buy votes. It could be desperate hearts from their subordinates in the system. So for instance, I believe that if my party member wins the governorship election, it puts my party in power, and then the person in power is most likely the one with the power to appoint positions. And because of that desperation to be appointed for a certain position, it can even push the younger partisan members to say, you know, I'm going to do everything to deliver my unit, because that's the way it works. Every of their members are assigned to different units. So if, for instance, their party loses this unit, it comes back to them and say, you that could not deliver your unit, you might not get some level of
yes, appointment is geared towards how committed you are in during the elections, and the commitment goes in not just one way.
Yes, so appointment is really beyond the skills.
How you work hard is financial commitment, and how you were able to deliver. For instance, now you anticipated that if your political party wins and you are going to get appointments, so you have to deliver by any means possible.
That's
so
what
you could be personal resources could be used for vote buying to deliver that particular
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So sometimes the governor does not even have an idea that.
Sometimes you cannot say, Oga, do you know that I delivered? Yes, I saw it.
Yes.
So these are the kind of stuff. So let's proceed to what the APC candidate talked about when he talked about issues that happened in his own particular area. It's a very peaceful election in his polling unit. That was a statement by Chief Timi Silva, the candidate of APC, and he also talked about what happened at Yanagwa, violence issues that related to a APC member shot dead. That was a statement that came out from the APC candidate, governorship candidate, violence areas. And what can be done in regard to this? Must there be election in Bayelsa? Must somebody die in regard to elections every time?
Of course, somebody must not die, and somebody doesn't have to die. Somebody should not die. And who should be responsible? Can't everything we're saying the governor, everything we're saying the government. We have to be very specific. Security, the people in charge of security are the ones responsible for safeguarding lives and property. So we cannot just say the government. Of course, they are they are responsible generally, but directly we should be asking the security personnel, the leaders, what is going on?
I am thinking that it's a social responsibility for people to be very careful during elections. Sometimes you do things in a way that is not in line with the norms and activities within that electoral processes. Unnecessary actions will occur, and when you are going for elections, you are going there to cast your vote, not to cause any violence. If violence occurs, a cause and effect, something happens that lead to the death of someone in an election. But it's not so. Election is for people to vote and definitely have their votes counted, for you to see that yes, I voted and this is the outcome of my vote, and you have a voice in that regard. But for you to die before a vote counts, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, I don't think any of them actually woke up and said, I want to go and die, or I want to go and be injured.
It is not.
So it's
cause and effect. So
when you say they have a social responsibility to be careful, I think that their responsibility is to come and exercise their rights. I should not be afraid to
when I talked about social
rights.
responsibility, I talked about the security aspect. The security is to safeguard lives and property. Whatever action that can trigger to shooting of guns, the security
now, the shooting of guns does not happen by the electorate most of the time.
Within that premises, for instance, going for an election and you notice that something that is not supposed to occur there, sometimes flying bullets could kill someone as well.
That's true.
In terms of maybe, because from the statement of Chief Timi Silva, violence areas that happen alongside Yanagwa, flying bullet could hit up someone, and that will be the end of the story. So what is important is that people should be conscious in every election. The elections should be peaceful in Nigeria, not to cause violence. Now we talked about people have started counting votes. What is the hope of the Bayelsans? Who is going to be the governor?
Well, that's up to INEC now, because I think the polling units, the results are already been collected. Some of them are already done. Most of them are done voting, I believe, from the last reports we received. So right now it's INEC. But then I'm also confused because I don't think if we are going to be having a really fair and credible election, the results should be coming anytime soon, because the materials in some of the polling units, in some polling units were stolen. Was it Sagbama? The materials hijacking, yes, ballot boxes were hijacked, and some areas their materials were stolen, and the election was cancelled in those areas. Are we going to go on to collate the results and announce the new governor without those places? What will be done about those places? Because they need to be collected before we even get the results.
Yes, election processes take different processes. For instance, at the polling unit level, where they will count the number of voters, number of persons accredited, and to cross-check all the information before, from the polling unit level to the ward level, where the ward supervisor will now collate results and take them to the local government collation center, and from there, that is where we start knowing what is happening. But at this point of the polling unit level, is important that people become conscious, because anything can happen along the line. Of course, where Mr. A have the highest vote, before you know what is happening from the polling unit to the ward level, anything can happen. So people have to be conscious and be vigilant. Vigilant of the result. Because, for instance, now there is this tendency of you looking at, okay, you went to polling unit 5 to cast your vote. You'll wait until when the result is counted. That polling unit so this is the result that is out of it. You're already aware.
Yes.
And the result
that in my polling unit, yes, we had 1,200 accredited voters. Yes. We had out of that 1,000 accredited, 300 came, and out of that 300 that came, we had 300 votes. We had, let's say for instance, 200 to party A, 50 to party B, 20 to party C, 10 to party D, and all of that. We already know this. So
these are the processes.
I think what we're saying is everybody that came out to vote, thank God for the electoral transmission of votes that now goes on in Nigeria, thanks to INEC. We want to know that this is properly followed. Have the result been updated on the beavers? So let's follow through. If you were in your polling units, Bayelsa State, local governments are not so much. We have over 2,000 polling units. We want to see that if you were in any polling unit, ensure that your results were collated properly, and ensure that you have a record of that, so that when it's called by INEC, you can say, no, we had this in my polling unit, we had this in my polling, this is not what we had, or this is the exactly we had. And if there is any situation where INEC is calling something contradictory to what you had in your polling unit, you might want to present those evidences of the correct results.
There is another point in it that elections are to be transmitted electronically, and the beavers, are these processes being carried out? Are beavers transmitting results?
Yes.
If it is so,
if that is done,
if that is the process, then it is good of that people will start to have feedback of various points that have delivered, and the political party that is leading, because it is electronic transmission.
Yes, even with the introduction of beavers now, it's really beautiful. The election procedure is easier, it's faster for everybody, both for INEC and both for the electorates, because now we can all see, and it should even be more transparent. Not again should we have issues of somebody was trying to manipulate votes, because every polling unit, when you're done with the transmission, transmits the real results to the beavers. Take screenshots of the receipts, videos, pictures, and posts, so that everybody can see, and when the results are collated, we can all agree that this is what happened in my polling unit, this is what happened in my polling unit. So I think that The results, we should easily get our results now. We should have a really, really credible, fair election. We are trusting on INEC. The only challenge I think we are beginning to have is because of those areas where their materials were hijacked. Such areas, we cannot exactly make a decision on them yet because we are thinking, are we going to need to redo those places? Of course, they should redo those places.
In Bayelsa State, there are different locations, riverine areas. Sometimes you look at the various places where the election processes are going. For instance, in Southern Niger is a very far distance where you get information, and definitely we are looking at how close it is. For instance, now we have a PDP we have PDP results are flowing in different statements, and this is coming from Bayelsa State. The harassment of APC supporters, security is biased. That is coming from Team Press Liver. And we look at current updates of what is happening. Also, looking to our field reporters to tell us how many polling units and wards have been sorted out in Bayelsa State for update of what is happening within the state.
Right before then, we'll have a quick break. Stay tuned. You're welcome back to the election headquarters, GbaramatuVoice TV. Thank you. If you're just joining us, my name is Joy London.
Asiayi Enaibo.
Do well to share and interact. We would like to hear your voice on the matters concerning Bayelsa State election. Thank you.
And we are bringing the Labour Party candidate, Engineer Dense Raduri, via the phone to tell us the activities that is happening in Bayelsa State. So far so good. Various polling units have started there.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm fine.
How would you describe the state of Bayelsa's election today?
Well, I think the election so far so good. We are mad with so much of irregularities. Vote back, which is the most common in what I saw today. The people were rather interested in money that they would get rather than the issues that ordinarily should have defined the electoral process.
What's your current location, sir?
What?
What's your current location, sir?
My current location is Agudama. I visit, of course.
Okay. And vote buying was prominent in Agudama.
Yes, vote buying, which is really a sad phenomenon in our electoral process.
There are many reports of vote buying across the state, so it's quite prominent in today's election. Considering the level of vote buying going on in the state, can we say we can produce a credible, fair election?
No, we cannot.
That means at this stage, we cannot say that INEC could produce a credible, fair election by Bayelsa State.
No, it's not possible. Like this, it's never possible. As for me, I was really, I was fooled by the fact that I thought that the vote Bayelsa understood where the problem lies, and now I realize that it's not the political class that is the problem. It is the problem. The masses are more interested in what they will eat today, what money will enter their pocket. So hell with any other thing. And this is sad because what kind of system are we going to be running? People are not interested in what you are talking about. They are interested in money that you put in their hand. If APC is paying more, the voter will begin to move that way. Immediately these other people increase, the money starts going. And I said, I'm not going to pay. I don't even have the money to pay for votes. So I started this electoral process on the fact that the issues would define, the way the votes will go. Unfortunately, that's not it. All the emotions that people express, they just deceive you, and when you get the election day, it is actually money they are coming out for. And it is sad because our society is it's not going anywhere as it stands.
Okay,
sir, thank you for that aspect. Considering you have cast your votes, what message would you like to convey to the voters and the people of Bayelsa State? Additionally, how do you plan to ensure a fair and secure electoral processes in the face of reported voter harassment and vote buying and security concerns?
Well, what do I have to say? Do you know how devastated I am? A woman who I trained her child in a private university for 5 years after Babalola University. I was paying about 400,000 per semester for her child. The woman voted for the people. It was 12,000 that was her problem. And that's the saddest part of it. So I think that I need to
the amount of vote buying. It is really devastating for us to think that at this time in our country, people will still sell their votes.
5,000, 7,000, 12,000.
And I wonder, how does that happen with the security personnel's presence? How did that happen with security personnel's presence?
Security personnel, don't say that though. This is an entire gamut of conspiracy. The poverty we are talking about, the security personnel, are they not human beings? They are Nigerians who cannot afford basic needs. So if they are induced properly, they will show a blind eye. For instance, a situation where somebody had the corner must go, they were writing and giving tally. They will give you tally as you are voting. They will snap and give you tally. And we reported to the police, look at what's going on. They pretended. In fact, a battalion of policemen even came there to for that.
In other words, the police are an accomplice to this terrible act?
No, I can't say police is an accomplice because I didn't see them say no, we will not arrest them. The point is that everybody feigns a blind eye as if it doesn't know what is going on. Even when you are saying, look, this is what is happening, no action is taken. So my dear, election, you have to spend money for security, spend money for INEC, you spend money for people. I didn't have that kind of money. I came to prove that, look, somebody can one day get up and challenge this incompetence in our state. And I tried my best with all the inducement, with all the conspiracies. I stood firm to focus on what I intended to achieve. Yes. And for me, I have achieved that by getting to the end of it and seeing the real problem. I went to every nook and cranny of the state. I have seen the nakedness of neglect by government to the people of Bayelsa. I have seen firsthand poverty in our state. No drinking water, poor schools, health facilities. People are living in penury in Bayelsa. And this, for me, is a take from this process. I'm not interested in all those their court cases and all those nonsense. I won't do it. The point is, even in our agent list, when I brought our agent tags, they are changed the faces from the names. I wrote to the national chairman of the party and he wrote to INEC. We received copy days before this election to say, look, we think that this is deliberate because they will be barred from getting into the venue. And truly, most of our agents were not allowed to the units because they said the faces. How did they know that the faces were not were mistaken? It was a deliberate attempt. So for me, with the mammoth kind of INEC, forget about it. I had said earlier that I was in this contest with INEC and not PDP or APC alone. INEC was part of the contest, and truly they have played it. It was an opportunity for them to clean their backward image. Unfortunately, the reverse is the case. So for me,
going by the way today's election has gone, would you say there is hope for your party? There is hope that you would emerge the new governor of Bayelsa State?
It comes back again.
Going by the way today's election has happened, would you say that there is hope for becoming the next governor of Bayelsa State for you and for your party?
There is no hope. I've already seen the results coming out from some of the places. It's a no-no for us because we didn't have the money to buy votes. The results as they're coming out is defined by those who had the deep pockets in the election. That's the point I'm making. So for me, I didn't go into this election because I must be governor of Bayelsa State. No, I went in to prove that yes, for once, somebody can get up and begin to say, we can't continue like this.
And even challenge the status quo, because the status quo has always been APC, PDP, and this time there was this third force. It's actually revolutionary, it's historical for Bayelsa State, and I think Bayelsa State thanks you for this. Even though for some level of ignorance and poverty, they are not able to properly appreciate the gift that you have been in this journey.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for letting us have you.
Thank you.
You have a beautiful day, sir.
It is very sad to hear a governorship candidate lamenting in regards to after all the processes. You see that someone is telling you that there is no hope anymore. That is to tell you that in wait for there is a statement he boldly made. We didn't have money to buy votes. It is very terrible. We didn't have money to buy votes. And he went further to say, we were not in contest with PDP or APC, we were in contest with INEC. You know what that means? It is a very sad situation that there is a need for transparent electoral processes from the INEC itself and other stakeholders in terms of election processes. And a lot of lamentations coming from the Labour Party candidate, Engineer Odense.
Now, Engineer Odense is not the only person who is devastated. Every single one of the major candidates today has been devastated from our reports.
When you look at it,
we also lamented on the fact that some of his party members were not allowed into certain areas.
When you look at it, when somebody is devastated, you can see that boldly someone is telling you that there is no hope. You know what that means? It is not a matter of some of my persons were bad. No, it's not a matter of some of my persons are not having access to. This is somebody who have in his own way
went to the news
and tell you that there is no hope. That means he's not counting himself among those persons. And at the same time, he said it is not a matter of what is having a
one side of the coin.
What happened is that he contested to show capability and commitment, but unfortunately, those he thought that is going out there for good governance.
Of course, he's not the only one going out there for good governance. Amazing, yes. He's not the only one contesting for good. Every sustained candidates that have come out to contest for the position of the governorship of Bayelsa State, all of them have manifestos and they have very beautiful dreams for Bayelsa. Whether they will fulfill it or not, all of them are saying we are going to improve infrastructure, we are going to eradicate poverty, we are going to make our youth dream again, we are going to do this and we are going to do that. So I believe that Dennis is not the only person with beautiful dreams for Bayelsa State, just like the PDP. So I think every feelings that they have, I don't think Chief Timi Silva is not tension right now. I don't think he is not. Because he also complained.
You know, there are a lot of in politics. In politics, when you look at it in politics.
So if the candidates are all complaining, then we should also be talking to INEC and the security officials. Because, from the year that he does not have the money, and even if he has the money, he will not buy votes, right? The people who is proposing or who we believe have the money, for instance, the APC party and the PDP party, we have their major candidates on live here complaining complaining that their people were not allowed into certain environments, complaining that ballots have been hijacked in some areas. It's not a case of it's the people that don't have money that are affected by this election, even those that seemingly have the money to spend are also complaining. So I think
let me reframe some of the point he made. He talked about there is no hope for him to become the next governor of Delta State. That's automatically not himself having no hope for him being an individual or a human, but to become a governor in Bayelsa State, there is no hope for him to become governor of Bayelsa State. That means that his political party has been ruled out from the process, as he boldly said that we do not have money to buy vote. And thereafter we'll be joining a journalist from Yanagua via phone, a Biz Oziagbe will be joining us, and we'll get more details of what is happening in Bayelsa State. And it is a good thing that we are abreast with what is happening within and out of, because so many stories were coming from Yanagua, and we got stories from different communities where the political the candidates went there by themselves, voted and see things, and giving us feedback that where they are, like Timi Silva, he said when he voted it was peaceful, and we hope that let that peaceful nature of the elections continue in every part on regard to the stories that we've heard about the issues.
Thank you for staying tuned. We'll be back shortly. Remember to share your thoughts and to ask any questions you may have.
Yes, the election voting process, some places have completed.
But then he said that there is no hope. He did.
GbaramatuVoice, voice of the people. GbaramatuVoice, voice of the people.